All right, welcome everyone to the regular meeting Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. of the Village Trustees. We call this meeting to order first with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, agenda review, we got to add something for legal and water.
Yeah, so under number 19, proposed executive session, we still need that to discuss legal, but it will not be related to the item that's listed, because
Okay.
that's an open item discussion.
Yep.
And if we can add, probably under number 18, any other necessary business, have a request for approval for me to sign and apply to the state revolving loan fund for some money for our water system. I can provide details when we get there.
Okay.
I would like to table number 8 since there are only 2 voting members here and Adam should recuse himself from the voting number 8. So can I put that on Diane for the next meeting?
Yep. Is that it for agenda review? Number 4, public comment. Okay. Number 5.
Someone named
I think
Lynn.
it's just Lynn, right?
I don't think it's Lynn Veritas.
It's not Lynn?
It just says Lynn unverified. I thought before it showed up LP.
Oh.
It might be Lynn.
Number 5, approve and accept minutes from Monday, September 8th, 2025, meeting as presented.
Move we approve and accept the minutes from Monday, September 8th, 2025, meeting as presented.
I'll second.
All right, we have first and a second to accept meeting minutes from Monday, September 8th, 2025. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 6, approve and accept village warrants through Thursday, September 18th, 2025.
I move that we approve and accept the village warrants through Thursday, September 18th, 2025.
And I'll second.
All right, we have first and a second to approve village warrants for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Any further discussion about the warrants?
Yes, I had 2 questions.
Question away.
On warrant number 96, 20909 for Crossbow Communications.
That was for the fiber I asked this.
Oh,
Thank you, I like it when I don't have to answer.
Look at that.
and I didn't write the warrant number down, but it was for 20935 for TI sales.
Tie sales electric department.
Say again?
No,
it's
that's
water.
water department.
Water is,
No,
it's
that's
high
the
sales.
water meters.
Yes,
Oh,
water
okay.
meters.
Okay. Well, make it as Lynn out there.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Swanton Village Police Department update with Chief Matt Sullivan.
Good evening, Chief. Good evening.
Alright, so you see the 2 packets, one for the village, one for the town from the month of August. There were 151 incidents in the village in August of '25. Top 10 incident types were 19 suspicious, 13 traffic stops, 8 agency assists, 8 theft, 8 VIN inspections, 8 citizen assists, 8 alarms, 7 directed patrols, 7 motor vehicle complaint, and 6 welfare checks. Out of those 13 traffic stops, 11 tickets and 9 warnings were issued. I guess actually 16 of the 20 warnings and tickets were associated with traffic. The other ones were probably civil tickets, most likely up at the school. 13 arrests. There were 5 arrests associated with traffic enforcement. Those 13 arrests represent 13 individuals with 15 charges. So the other things that I want to mention, obviously we had a big drug case last week. We were aware of the activity, but received enough information, developed enough information to get a search warrant. It's a good example of how difficult it is to do this sort of work. We had to try to get enough officers together to execute a warrant safely, which is difficult for us because of the size of the agency. I believe we had 8 officers, and that did not prove to be enough as we had 8 arrests out of that one search warrant. So it was a logistical nightmare just trying to get people where they needed to go. It also demonstrated how inadequate the facility is. I mean, our facility is not equipped to do work of this nature. So we only had one of those individuals in custody here, or 4 up at Border Patrol, until we could sort through things to the best of our ability, and then we were involved in shuttling people to the correctional center, the people with warrants, which isn't necessarily an ideal situation. Ideally, we would help all the people that we had cause to arrest, and then been able to interview them all or attempt to, but we just could not do that due to the logistics of that situation. In the end, though, the 2 individuals from out of state were initially held on $30,000 bail. I have checked, and it does not look like they are still incarcerated. It looks like they were released later that evening after their arraignment. So I'm not sure what exactly happened, because I talked to the state's attorney right before this meeting, and he said yes, after arraignment they were still held on $30,000 bail. He argued for $200,000 bail for each of them due to the nature of the crimes. So he's going to look into that tomorrow and get back to me to see exactly what happened as far as the bail amounts.
But not released at arraignment. They must have
Not released at arraignment.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they bailed. I mean, granted, on a $30,000 bail, generally you would have to post 10%, which is $3,000. So it's, the bail bonds, so they easily could come up with that sort of money, given the fact that they had over $5,000 in cash that they earned already, plus a substantial amount of crack cocaine. So I think it's the largest amount of crack cocaine, certainly, that we've taken off, and I think that I've seen in the course of my career in one spot. So that was good to deal with that problem.
Chief, until this thing shuts off, Diane did shut off. Can you speak up? It's hard to hear.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it just shows you the recurring nature of the drug problem, right? So we'll address one issue, and then over time it just crops back up. And again, it's all surrounding individuals who suffer from substance use disorder, and then they are the ones that get taken advantage of by these distributors from out of state. And it's the same thing. It's the same story over the course of my 26th year. It's the same thing over and over again, whether it's in wherever it is in the state of Vermont. The other thing is that we had, and this is more town related, but we had the and out of those 8 arrests, I should stick on that same topic. There are some people that are still incarcerated on some of those warrants, and others were released. And it's interesting that the residence itself, we charged, there were people in there who were never on the lease, who also, my guess is, suffer from substance use disorder, although I don't necessarily know that for sure, and we didn't have enough facts to directly tie them into a distribution conspiracy. But they were charged with unlawful trespass, a felony unlawful trespass into a dwelling, and the judge on arraignment did not find probable cause, which the judge is very competent. I've known her my whole career, and it's interesting if you read the statute, and she read the statute correctly. It is a difference between the misdemeanor charge of enters or remains on the premises versus the residence says enters the dwelling house in that section of the statute.
Just that little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's not incorrect, right?
No,
She's
I
interpreting
know.
the language of
Yeah.
the statute correctly.
Yeah.
So it is a problem where maybe there's a legislative fix there.
Wow.
In
Yeah.
circumstances like this, versus a business, for example, where somebody comes in, they cause a disturbance, and then the employees tell the person they need to leave, they refuse to leave, the police arrive on scene, we can arrest them for unlawful trespass at that point, because they refuse to leave after an employee has told them they need to, so they are trespassing. Which, again, the misdemeanor says enters or remains on the premises, so
So you're gonna
That
recharge
works.
that, and the state's
with
attorney gonna bring
statutory language. Well,
the misdemeanor charge?
I don't know, it's interesting because at least as far as the New Yorkers go, there's, the other charges are so severe. I mean, you're looking at maximum penalties of 30 years, for some of those charges. But, in any case, they could possibly recharge the misdemeanor for the locals who were in there, who would basically move themselves in. Although it's a complex issue, with landlord-tenant law also, because initially the tenant who does have rights to be in the property allowed them to come into the property with only agreement between that tenant and them, which my understanding is it needs to be between the subletters and the landlord. It can't just be through the tenant who does have a legal right to be there. And so that never existed, and they never paid rent to the individual that they were subletting from. So I don't see how they have legal standing to be in there, but again, I believe the judge actually interpreted the statute correctly, given the language of the statute. So it is what it is as far as that goes. The other thing is that more town-related is we did get some data, and I have not had a chance to really dive deeply into this data because we have been so busy. Put the speed trailer up on Bushy Road. It was up there from August 29th until September 8th. And so the posted speed limit up there is 40 miles per hour. It is an interesting data set in that the average speed was 40.91 miles per hour. So just shy of 41 miles per hour was the average speed. Now, there's always outliers, so.
Right.
The maximum speed recorded was 106 miles per hour, which is outrageous given where the speed cart was. It was most likely, again, some sort of motorcycle that would be able to do something like that. The 50th percentile was 44 miles per hour. The 85th percentile was 51 miles per hour, which is still pretty close to within reason, right? 11 over the speed limit. The number above the speed limit, though, the total number of vehicles measured was 15,367, with 10,427 of those vehicles recorded over the 40 mile per hour speed limit. So it's a pretty interesting data set, just a broad overview on that. You'll also see the town report. So the town in August, we had 83 incidents in total. The top 10 incident types were 20 traffic stops, 19 directed patrols, 8 suspicious, 5 agency assists, 5 motor vehicle complaints, 4 alarms, 3 family fights or domestics, 3 VIN inspections, and 2 trespassing. And I'm not sure what the other one is there, crammed in there. But out of those 20 traffic stops, 13 tickets and 15 warnings were issued. All but 1 ticket was associated with traffic, and all warnings were associated with traffic. There were 3 arrests of 3 individuals, resulting in 4 total charges, and there were 17 additional service hours provided to the town, because just some of these cases are pretty complex that we take on. I think we've experienced, it seems like, more and more complicated cases that require a lot of follow-up and a lot of additional time, compared to more basic things that you might deal with in law enforcement. So it's been a busy summer.
Don't even know how to answer that. So, I commend you and your folks, and, keep on keeping on, I guess. I don't know, it sucks.
It's a good example, that warrant was a good example too of the teamwork involved in that and the manpower that's required. I had mentioned, I believe we had 8 officers to execute that warrant, but most of them stayed for a long, long period of time.
Yeah.
Logging evidence, collecting evidence, processing the scene, logging the evidence, and again, logistically trying to transport those people to where they needed to go, the individuals involved. So it was many, many hours. I think my shift was around 21 hours long that day.
It was excellent work, and it was great that we were able to get a press release about that, so people can actually kind of see a snapshot of some of the stuff that you guys are dealing with on a weekly basis, it seems like.
Yeah.
Great feedback on Facebook, and what the chief's not telling you, he was the author of the search warrant. So it's really good for, in his leadership role, to show that he went out and got that intel and got the probable cause to do the search warrant. He did all the paperwork and all the arrests, so he is definitely leading by example, so thank you for that.
Yes.
We should briefly talk about the last town select board meeting. Big discussion about Bushy Road, just so you're not blindsided. They are openly reaching out to the sheriff's department to see if they have capacity to do just speed enforcement. They correctly guessed that we do not have the capacity to offer more organizationally at this point. I don't believe we even have, nor did they ask, if we have the capacity to do hour by hour overtime contract for speed enforcement on Bushy Road. But my guess is that we don't have a lot of capacity in that area.
Yeah, it would be difficult, and I don't know, I mean, we basically have unlimited Governor's Highway Safety Detail funds
Right.
that they could take advantage of, the officers could, but, yeah, I don't know that we would have the capacity, just because they haven't expressed the interest in doing that on a regular basis.
So from our point of view, we're not offended at all by that collaboration that they might seek with the sheriff's
Absolutely.
department. It makes perfect sense. That might be a great solution for them for just traffic enforcement.
Would
But I
that be
just didn't want
throughout
you
all of
blindsided.
Swanton or just Bushy
Just
Road?
pushing.
Targeted, but they talked about just Bushy Road. The one
Yeah.
thing they did discuss briefly was, and it was quickly corrected, so if you watch the meeting, you'll see, a member did go down the road and, well, maybe, the village and the town could split the sheriff's contract, and it would only be on Bushy Road, but they self-corrected, so listen to the whole thing when you watch it. But not offended at all by that outreach.
No, and I
Makes
think,
perfect sense.
I think the town is doing what is right for their
For them,
citizens.
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
It's an issue wherever people,
And the reality is, the more enforcement, the better, wherever it's coming from.
Right,
I mean, the
exactly.
traffic issues are out of control right now.
Yep.
My wife was almost hit twice in the last couple days with people passing her on the left as she's trying to make a left-hand turn, and the road was completely blocked by a truck and a trailer, trying to back into a driveway, and somebody blew by her as she was slowing down to a stop, obviously not even seeing what was in front of her and why she was slowing down, and then had to screech to a halt before they struck the truck and trailer. So people need to tone down the driving quite a bit, and
Agreed.
as much enforcement as we can get out there, I
Yep.
think is nothing but beneficial for the community.
Absolutely.
it's true, we can't have speed cameras, right? That it?
I've got
Yes.
nothing else.
Excellent work on that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Bust.
We
Thank you,
appreciate all
Chief.
you guys
Thank
are
you.
doing.
Stay for.
I stick to my ordinances.
No, you don't. No, that'll be mine, very brief,
Okay.
literally 30 seconds.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a good evening.
Right.
All right, number 9, review and discuss Swanton Village pile ordinance, free pile ordinance.
All right, so you all got that email with that. So basically the idea is that there will be no more free piles put on property in the village for longer than 72 hours. And then the fines will start incurring, and the person fined will be the property owner.
The only thing that I'd like to see added was something about the free piles on public property, like
So-
these little medians that people
So
have as
the
part of their-
free piles under public property is illegal dumping, and that's already under Vermont State Statute 24 VSA 2201. So if there's a free
Excellent.
pile on the corner on that little island in Jones Court, somebody calls the PD, makes a complaint, and they can figure out, put it there, then that person will get trouble, we'll get a ticket or a citation for 24 VSA 2201.
It's public littering.
Right, yeah, that's the
Excellent.
I
statute.
checked with Chief Sullivan, he just left, but no heavy lift, nothing unreasonable in here to give him pause for enforcement actions.
Okay, good.
And people have been asking for this for quite a while. Great.
We need, I'm assuming we need a motion to.
We do.
Um,
We only had it on the agenda as a discussion,
Oh, okay.
so I think
We'll move it to next month
to actually have an adoption of it.
adopt it.
okay.
And then it will be on the website so people can read it, and then if they
Once
have
it's-
any issues with it, they can come to the next meeting to
Yep.
let us know what the issues are. And so that, we're gonna do the same thing with the animal ordinance, which is the next one.
Number
So
10, review and discuss the Swanton Village animal ordinance.
the animal ordinance is, about mostly because of free-range chickens.
Yep.
And it's just, I looked at the ordinances in other towns and villages, and what they do. And so basically, that's kind of what we've adopted here. Well, we haven't adopted it yet. So what I propose we do here. So if you have chickens, they have to be in an enclosed coop or an enclosed, fenced-in run. No free ranging allowed. Any sales or incidental sales, there's no advertising to sell your eggs. Your fence and enclosure has to be predator proof. You can have fowl, so chickens, geese, turkeys in the village, but no cows, horses, pigs, goats, or sheep, unless you have larger than a 2-acre piece of property in the village. Chickens are maximum density of 1 bird per square foot, ducks 1 bird per 4 square feet, turkeys and geese is 1 bird per 6 square feet, and roosters will be prohibited within the village limits regardless of whether they crow or not. So that's what I'm proposing. Oh, I also got rabbits. Maximum density of rabbits is 1 rabbit per 3 square feet. Also in an enclosed hutch space with a predator-proof run, no free-range rabbits. And he said, no heavy lifting?
No heavy lift on behalf of the police department.
Perfect.
So we're gonna adopt those at the next meeting as well.
Yeah, we can post them, get feedback for a couple of weeks, and have them as action items for adoption.
Perfect.
All
All
right,
right, thank you.
thank you.
Number 11, review Swan Fire Department request to solicit sealed bids to purchase a mini pumper. Welcome, gentlemen.
All right, so the last time me and Troy were together, we came before you earlier in the year, we had asked permission to see about the feasibility of adding a mini pumper to the fleet. Troy Campbell, Troy Rushlow, Matt Beatty, Lawrence Boise, and myself made up the truck committee. We had lengthy meetings, we had a lot of meetings, and we essentially found out that a mini pumper would work very, very well for Swanton for the future of the next 20 years for that truck. What you were just handed was the specs for one of the trucks. We identified E1 HME, which was speccing out the Alexis, and Shatterly Fire Trucks Sales as the 3 manufacturers that would meet the needs for us to purchase one. Those would be the 3 we'd like to go to bid to. The truck is essentially the same truck. It's just there's little quirks depending whether it was an E1 or an HME as to what it would do, and just each truck's a little bit different, just like Ford, Chevy, Dodge have their little quirks. But again, you have the spec sheet in front of us you have right now. I had a conversation with Lynn about a week and a half ago. The numbers still look good, that this would be paid 100% out of the equipment replacement fund with no new additional taxes in the form of a bond, with money left over in the account. that is, again,
And
from.
Chief, that includes the money we would receive from your change in your fleet?
Correct.
Okay.
We would be selling engine one, we would be selling utility, going down to 5 pieces of apparatus with the. So what we're looking for is permission to go out and solicit 3 bids, and with the intent of actually placing an order.
And if I may, something along the lines of a motion to approve the village manager to oversee the fire department's solicitation of sealed bids to purchase a mini pumper. Then they would come in, after that process, we would do the same thing, identify the 3 bids, identify who the preferred person is, then we would seek a motion to go ahead and purchase.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve the motion to allow Bill and the team at the fire department to solicit bids for the mini pumper, which is just an absolutely fantastic idea, guys. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Diane, I have that in writing for you, so.
Thank you.
So also a comment, these 3 manufacturers will be ready to have those bids for mid-October. Because we'd like to place the order before the end of the year. And it's a 2-year build time, so
Yep.
you won't see it for 2026.
Even for a mini pumper, it's 2 years.
It doesn't matter what you order.
Wow.
Engines are almost 4, ladders are 6.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Chief, while you're here, just because you're here, the burn ban,
Yes.
all things, no, right?
Right.
Fire pits,
That is correct.
everything. Okay. Just, there's a little confusion
Yeah.
with the post, and I just wanted to
That
have
was,
you clarify
that
that.
was guidance from the state, and they don't want anybody,
Nothing.
nothing right now.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Number 12, review 2 level 2 EV chargers for 121st Street.
So we've been talking about this for, I would say probably over a year since, it's actually a lot longer than that, since these out here, 121st Street, no longer work. So this is to take advantage of a partial grant. So what we're looking to do is get approval to purchase 2 level 2 chargers. That means there's 4 charging ports. To be purchased and installed at the Park and Ride located here at 121st Street. The grant covers $15,214. Our match is approximately $7,000. And then that restores our capability to provide charging here. Once they are up and running, we will have, a credit card swipe and people get charged to utilize those devices. But there is a $7,000 match. Same thing in every community is dealing with right now.
Where are we taking those funds from?
That is a great question. So we can do electric. Lynn, are you on the line?
Yeah, I am. I would recommend that they come out of the general fund, because that park and ride is owned by the general fund, and this whole facility is.
Lynn, do we have a line item remaining of about that amount in what we used to consider ARPA funds? The interest
Yes, I
part?
believe we still have pretty close to 10,000 that we don't have a home for.
That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, that was my concern, is I don't
Yeah.
want
Right.
to take money from the taxpayers having to pay more money for that, but if we can take it from discretionary funds, is that a good thing to call it? I don't know.
What, in the motion, what should we refer that funding source to be, Lynn?
I would say maybe like, general savings, because it is in a general savings account right now.
Okay.
Reserve funds, something to that, that line item.
Okay.
So that's where the revenue would go from the 2 chargers.
So the revenue goes to pay the electricity, and then there's,
Yeah, that's
Is
really,
it like a
that
break-even
pays,
thing?
it's a break-even thing, and that's
That's
the
what I thought.
design. It's whatever the Public Utility Commission finally sets as a rate. with a lot of built-ins that's yet to be determined, but they're close. So I could read a proposed motion if it's okay with the trustees?
Yes.
That new twist. Motion to approve 2 level 2 chargers, 4 charging ports, to be purchased and installed at the Park and Ride located at 121st Street, requiring a match of $7,000 in general savings from the village.
I will make that motion that you just said.
And I will second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve the motion to allow Bill to use some of the funds from the Article October interest revenue to put towards our match, which is a smaller match for the grants, to buy 2 level 2 new chargers for the community parking lot. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 13, discussion on installing clothing bin on village property.
So,
Is this from before with that guy?
yeah, it's a veteran family-owned business. Garrett Halverson is the gentleman who came in. They're looking to place a clothing bin in Swanton. I think they have some in St. Albans. I don't know if that fell through or not, but it's a really nice building.
You get that shot, I'll take it over. You good?
And we kind of thought over here by our bottle bin,
Yeah.
Okay.
even if I have to put it
How
on some.
often would Chief Alverson come in?
So that was the discussion. If it was approved, then we would talk, so it's gonna be, we have to kind of wait and see what we have for usage. I think they'll check it weekly, but maybe they need to come every 4 days or every 6 days. It's kind of, let's put it out there and see how much they
See how
collect.
much they collect.
But it
And
wouldn't,
then if it gets like overfull, we could just call
Call,
Chief
yeah.
and he could come.
yeah,
So folks be able to come put donated clothing in
yes.
the building and
And,
they will come by and take it.
yeah, so bags of your unwanted clothing would go right in that bin.
I think it's
And
perfect.
then he talked about the numerous things that, so what they do is they go through and sort everything, and then they donate it to different thrifts and all those kind of stores that will sell it.
Okay.
And then the stuff that's not usable, they shred it, and like car seats, the stuffing in our vehicles, car seats, they use that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So there's a use for all of it,
Well, that's
whether it's decent, really bad condition, they
Oh.
find a use for all of it.
Yeah. But residents would have kind of 24-hour access to be able to drop off their donations at their will versus
Yeah.
trying to find the
Right.
time and a place for something to be able
That's
to.
right.
It's great.
I know we tried to do this about 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, he came before us, but then they decided they weren't gonna come this far. They were doing St. Albans,
Yep.
and they were done with that territory. They weren't coming this far north, but he said, I think something fell through in St. Albans, honestly. I think something, or
Or
there's
they're-
such a
yeah.
need for it now, they need to come a little further north. So
Yeah.
he said, I
I'd be
know it fell
curious,
through.
I'd be curious, I mean.
The community feedback from other communities that have these are ranging from good to not so good. And I think though, in fairness, this could be an opportunity, we give this person a chance. The
Yeah.
minute it becomes unsightly or they're not responsive,
Then we,
we make adjustments.
So
We
yes.
do have to, we have to build a platform, because where we wanna put it in any significant rain event is right where the stormwater collects.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make sure that it's up somehow.
Okay.
It'd be no different than the bottle bin, when that gets
Right.
full, if they don't come, I give them a quick phone
Yeah.
call, I'm like, it's overflowing, you gotta come get it, and they're very responsive, they come get it. And so being here on village property, we can really keep an eye on it, and if any unwanted junk is left, it can be dealt with, we can make a quick call.
Security
Yeah.
cameras.
I was gonna say, if any unwanted junk is left, we have security cameras that can see who
That's right.
left the unwanted
Seems like
junk.
it would, it's
So
worth
I
a
think
chance
it's worth
to
it, yeah.
keep some stuff out of the landfill.
I agree, and
And-
also support a veteran-owned
That's a good
business.
sign to put on it, you're under surveillance.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah, we can pick up one of those and just place it right on.
Sweet cat.
Smile, you're on camera.
Smile.
Yeah,
Uh,
All right,
excellent. Do we
so-
need to do a motion, right?
yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve the clothing bin on village property.
I'll second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve the clothing bin on village properties. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Oh, number 14, review Highgate Water and Wastewater Extension MOU.
So this is another one, you know, if we go way back, the select board from Highgate came in front of us and spoke to the trustees about, at some point, when the water and wastewater line extension to the Highgate Airport was complete, that we would enter into an MOU to basically be responsible for the entire thing. So that's from, just like we would do for any of our current customers. So there are 6 customers on the line for water, even less for wastewater. Water's been live now for about 10 days or so. So we're not quite to the point yet where we're doing a billing cycle, but essentially this MOU allows us to be completely responsible for the day-to-day operation of that. I sent it all to you in review with your packet. And as a reminder, once it is 1 year old and debt-free, the town of Highgate, their legal folks would draft something up for us to review and sign to take complete ownership of the water line and all the responsibilities that come with it. So the motion would be something like, motion to approve the village manager signing the MOU for the operation and transfer of the Highgate Airport water and wastewater project.
So moved.
I second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve the motion to have Bill approve the MOU for the Highgate Water Extension. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Bill.
Quick question, are the meters, the AMI meters?
Yeah, I don't think we've installed up there yet, right? They're still on
Yeah.
the list, they just got installed?
No, I think some have been installed, we
Okay.
just haven't entered into the billing system
Okay.
yet, we needed the MOU and,
Okay.
but, yeah,
Yep.
they'll be smart meters.
Speaking of, number 15, AMI project update.
Yeah, so this is a brief update, and Lynn can certainly weigh in, but we're over 2,000 electric meters installed and growing rapidly depending on the day and what the workload is for the electric department. And we're over 700 water meters. So pretty good progress. I would say that we're seeing at least an improved responsiveness from the various vendors on the project. And it's not been easy, but they are on the line. We've had a series of phone calls with them. Were you on the one today, Diane, by any
No.
chance? No. And Lynn, were you on the one today?
No, I wasn't. I was at the
It
barn
was-
with my horse.
That's right,
Lori,
yeah.
Trish, and Dwayne.
Yeah, so, but I that's what I'm getting from folks is, while it might not be easy, we're making good progress.
So, yeah, I just, I wanna make sure they're cooperating with us. They need to be reminded that we are the customer. And, the customer's not always right, but in this case,
We are.
we are.
I think we're heading in the right direction.
Okay.
Sounds
I
like we're
do,
getting
I
there.
do know that Lori's been frustrated that the software is not
Yes.
communicating, so I'm hoping that that gets better. But if it does not, then we should consider
Mhm.
purchasing something that makes
Yep.
it easier.
Yes. and
Or
that's
3
the-
somethings from
and-
what I also was,
That's it.
It
It
could
could
be
be,
three
anything could be on the table by the end of this.
Yeah.
But by the end of this, we'll have AMI and life will be easier. Just might be a bumpy road to get there.
Okay.
I will
The
add
hopeful
that
goal.
any of these software integrations, we do experience road bumps. It just seems like this has been a little bit more.
bumpier.
But it's not uncommon to have road bumps when you're trying to do a software upgrade.
Okay.
I get the road bumps, I just don't accept the lack of response.
Right, and now that
That's
Alan
changed.
Stamp has kind of taken more ownership in the project management piece, like he should have all along, it's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we were making more progress.
Okay.
All right, good.
That's good news. So, but like I say, I don't accept the lack of response, so
They've gotten better in that.
they've gotten better, that's all that matters. Just keep getting better.
So, about the halfway point. It's great. Moving right along, number 16, the Ormond E. Croft Hydroelectric Generating Facility Dam Repair Update.
Okay, so I hate to read, but I want some accuracy and notes that we provide for Diane so she doesn't have to write all this down. So I am going to read a little bit. PC Construction demobilized their cranes and everything on Thursday, September 18th, and the rubber dam is no more. With that being said, anybody that's watching out there that wants a section or 2 or 15 of the rubber material, please let us know. It's 1 inch thick. Each section weighs approximately 2,000 to 4,000 pounds, depending on which size you pick. But we'll help you load it because we really would like to find a home for some of that. There are people picking it up and there are people utilizing it. I just thought, honestly thought it'd be gone by now. So still sections available. So let's talk about next steps. Now that that's gone, we have a call on Thursday with FERC and ANR. So FERC is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, ANR is the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources. Really important for us to not require them to have a crystal ball, but to actually be collaborative with us from the beginning on what might and might not be acceptable. This is going to be an interesting road because it's a FERC project and they have purview. Yet, in order to get relicensed, you have to first get your 401 permit, which is totally controlled by ANR. So we're trying to get them all on the phone with some consulting experts, with our FERC attorney, to do just what they're there to do. We're going to ask them for help because the alternatives can be many. But we don't want to go down a road, for example, FERC's been pretty firm, but we'll get them to really be firm, along with ANR. If a replacement rubber dam is off the table, why would we do an RFP to pursue that technology?
Exactly.
Just narrow it a little bit
Yep.
and really drill down so we can start that process and get that out there. So that's happening on Thursday. For the FERC license renewal, we will, it's no secret, we've told them that they were on site actually last week for an inspection that seemed to go well. You know, you don't know until you get the report back, but it was a much longer list of things to look at than it normally is. It wasn't a Part 12, it was just their normal inspection, and it took 4 hours. So it was
Okay.
mostly a good conversation. So we will ask to hold our license in abeyance, basically suspend everything we're doing based on the circumstances that we're dealing with. And then that in turn will likely halt the environmental piece that was being forwarded to the state of Vermont for the 401 review. So essentially we'll be permitted to run under our old license, and everybody will know, both ANR and FERC, that our new normal is just 15.5 feet lower than it was before. So we'll wait to hear on that, but we're in the process of doing that. Our annual plant shutdown began today, September 22nd. It's going to last 2 weeks. So this is the time when we complete a significant amount of maintenance work while we're dewatered, and several outside experts will be on site, many of them starting today, to include Sigma C. So we did a 5-year contract with them. This is year 3, and they're there to do tiebreaker and relay maintenance for all 5 units. So those are when you walk into the powerhouse, that's essentially everything you see in that first walkway as you're going down toward Unit 4. They pull everything apart, they inspect it, they do everything, and they do it for Unit 5 as well. So all 5 units, that's underway. They were on site first day today. Knowles Engineering, they're on site to do crack detection and sealing within the scroll cages of Unit 1 and 2. Here's a note that's not in here. It didn't start well today. They went down the scroll cage in Unit 1 after dewatering and found a fairly significant, size-wise but not deep, chunk of concrete missing. They can repair that after chipping it away. It's about a 2-foot in diameter. And then it got worse. The experts were down in Unit 2 and found some issues with that lower unit. So we have to do some high-density testing of that shaft, and it looks like the turbine down below is in some poor condition. So Unit 2 is offline for the foreseeable future, for sure. And that was Norcan doing Unit 2 turbine. And then H.L. Turner, they're our engineer of record. They'll be on site representing our interest in ensuring that all work is being completed by contract specs and industry. Of course, any engineer of those other three could say they're doing this or this. It's worthless unless you get an expert that is representing your interest to verify the work's being done and up to standards. So they'll do a full penstock inspection and maintenance, full visual inspection in Unit 1 through 4 to include all components, and they will also be cleaning and inspecting the surge tank. There was much more sediment in that surge tank than we thought. It predated me here, but they went probably 5 to 8 years ago, we think. They had Drummond come up and vac it out for a lot of money.
Was that the tank above?
Yes. Yep, the big
Just
silver
trying to-
surge
just
tank.
trying to-
Yep.
So
Tower.
the dean came to the rescue and went up today, and we just said, look, if at some point in the next 2 weeks you can fit this in with the Vector. So he went up, checked out the site, came back, made sure that our, all of the additional components that go on that thing would reach. He's pretty confident, well, this is gonna save us more than 10 grand.
Great.
And he can go up and do it and take care of it. It's not like it's not nasty stuff, it's just sludge, not just
Still.
silt, dirt. So, but it's gotta get out of there. So that's, that will be underway in the next 2 weeks. And then we already, you may have seen, it was on our website, not directly related to finding our next RFP, but we sent out an RFP to identify a consultant to assist with our capital assessment, capital planning of the hydroelectric facility. We have a $60,000 grant for this purpose, as we want outside expertise to help us prioritize our upgrades. It's gonna go a long way. You want an expert to come in and say, with everything that you have going on here, as much as you want a 1 megawatt unit 2 back online, that's priority number, whatever it might be, 8, 9. It's, at the same time, Dan reminds me all the time, that if you're having issues with 1 and you're not having enough water to generate 3 and 4, wow, you really want a 1 megawatt generation. So there's gonna be a long list of things that we have to do coming out of this. So this is kind of right now all day, every day. And that's what's happening in hydro.
Everything all at once.
It really, literally is everything all at once.
Don't even know what to say.
Is that the,
What an opportunity.
is at the end, you
What an
wanna
opportunity.
share your show and tell with the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to it, because I don't know what it means. But this is the, I'll walk it over to the camera here.
This is amazing, the difference of the
This is the thickness of the original Bridgestone bladder that lasted 19 years, and this is the thickness and the material of the HTE material that did not last 19 years.
It's supposed to be stronger, better.
Can
than
you see the
original.
content on the other, see, all those edges are painted, so you can't see what the layers are, but you can see.
That's
Old
because
fiber.
there's not,
It's all
Oh.
solid rubber.
it's all solid rubber with the exception of a little bit of layering you
Wait
can
a
see.
second, wait, 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 wait,
It's got 2 fiber layers, and the thinner piece has got a lot more fiber layers.
yeah, okay.
Good? Okay. Again, I wouldn't suggest any meaning that there's a catastrophic failure because of the difference in the thickness. I have no idea. Not an engineer.
But it could be an assumption.
It could be
You know
a
what they say
hypothesis.
about assuming.
Yes.
Strike 1, strike 2. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well,
Back
you're
to
back
Bill.
up again. 17, village manager update.
All right. Okay, let's start with the good news. Hot off the press today, email from the state of Vermont. We are hereby awarded another $75,000 sidewalk grant
Wow.
with an in-kind match. So this is the second year in a row where we're able to fully fund and complete sidewalks with Public Works, 100% grant funded with no tax impact.
Very nice.
Oh,
Awesome.
So
we're gonna get all the way down to Platt Street.
we will, yes, we absolutely will next year. So there was hope to even go further this year. I'll talk about Public Works in a minute, but we did not utilize the entire $75,000 of this year's grant. Doesn't matter, that can carry over, we have till 2027. This one I think we have until 2028. So I think in theory it might be 2 or 3 years worth of. So remember, we almost zeroed out our sidewalk budget to alleviate the tax impact on our citizens, and we can do that again.
Nice.
The other news in electric, we had a party for him, but he's still working. This is Dwayne Kuchar's last week on the job. We want to thank him for his leadership, expertise, and 28 years of dedicated service. He is all done at Friday afternoon.
Good for him.
Yep.
Congrats.
Public Works, so they continue to work on Grand Avenue sidewalk. Appreciate all the patience from the public. I know I received a lot of walk-ins and a lot of phone calls on the delays. However, we're doing it for free with our own folks.
So I tell them.
It's just, I super proud of everything that crew is doing. But they did another 120-foot pour last Friday. They did the sidewalks in front of the lawyer's office and then one of the residents, the corner there. And they have one more almost 120-foot pour that will take them all the way down there. In the event, highly unlikely, they have time to do more. Well, at least to First Street. In the highly unlikely event that they can come and go this side of York, they will, but I don't think they're gonna get to it this year. They also have some additional curbing to form up the pour.
They've got curbing, don't they still have painting to do? I mean,
They do. Shout out to Fairfax Public Works. They came here to do a course with us, with a whole bunch of other Public Works folks on pavement maintenance. And they were in the class. Our painter is down. We're struggling with it. So we're borrowing theirs. They're all done for the season. So we're gonna utilize that.
Teamwork.
Good connection right there. Our summer part-time employees end their work near the end of this month. So again, those two are the two that just keep on working.
Brian and O'Gary.
It's amazing though, right? I mean,
It is,
that's a
absolutely.
combined nearly 100 years of
Oh,
experience.
absolutely.
And they're out there, they don't take many breaks. We're doing hydrant flushing this Thursday night, so that's an overnight for the team. And people, we posted it, I know Diane, you put that on there, right?
Yep.
So it's out there, we ask again for your patience, you're gonna have cloudy water, just let it run, it's natural, but it's really important that we flush our hydrants, so we'll continue to do that. We're continuing to utilize the street sweeper to great success. Once we figured out that operational issue and the electrical issue under warranty, they're raving, it picks up stuff, it's
Humming along.
unbelievable, yeah.
So,
It's making really quick work of things.
good
And
to
then
hear.
we recently held interviews with several qualified candidates, and Wendell Godin was selected for this position. He will start on Monday, October 6th.
Oh, okay.
As long as that's a Monday, is it?
Thank you, Wendell.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
We'll
good.
go with it.
We couldn't have gone wrong with those 4 finalists. That was a strong group of candidates,
And,
so.
and Wendell's from the Village family anyway.
He is. His father was a long-time person in our electric department, a line maintainer, lineman, so, who recently passed. But super guy, and yes, so he's going to be here for a career. There's no doubt about that.
I got a question I noticed when I grew up on Linda Avenue. Do we always had double lines down the middle of Linda Avenue? We
Mhm.
did?
Yeah, it's a class 2 road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
That's why we get the
that's why we
lines.
got the free paving.
Right.
Yeah,
Class 2 road.
yeah, it interconnects.
Never
connects.
remember
Connection-
Never being,
connection road.
double line down the middle.
Yeah, they've been out busy with their line painting. Moving on to water. So, right now, Heidi is seeking funding ranging between $20,000 and $30,000 to hire a consultant to update the following plans at the water plant: source protection, asset management, risk and resiliency, and emergency response. We'll then have to replicate that for wastewater. All of these are required. We have not updated these in, let's just say, for the record, a long time, and we need to. So we're on it. We will get that. We'll get funding to do it, or we'll have to do it internally because we don't have the money. So we're looking for funding for that. We had a meeting today with Water and Homeland Security, reference cyber, and cyber went down to water. So we're trying to make sure that all of our systems are protected from the outside and any vulnerabilities. So they're focusing on electric, hydroelectric, water, and wastewater. So they're actually gonna do some testing for us that should be pretty valuable.
Cool. Drago.
What's that?
Drago or whatever that was. It's supposed to be available for us for free.
Oh,
Remember that?
no, this is,
Something else.
this is probably better, but I will tell you that we knew that we were okay down at water, and, they went from that meeting here at 3 o'clock and went down to meet with Todd for an hour and confirmed that our SCADA, and we knew it, but they wanted to confirm it was not online. And
Good.
no known vulnerability there, so,
Good to know.
pretty
Seems
important.
like the best way to prevent that.
Our operators at water continue to battle minor complexities with the plant. Limited impact due to the drought, we're able to maintain production and water quality standards, but it doesn't take a big search on the internet to find that a lot of communities are struggling with their water.
Hearing a lot of dry wells lately.
A lot of dry wells, so the public knows, if we ever run out where our intake valve is, the world's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, they got about 10 feet to go, 10 or 12 feet to go. I don't see that happening.
Pretty
but
far out.
Yeah, we would have, we'd have new islands on Lake Champlain. Moving to wastewater, if you get a chance to go down, you probably should. It's starting to see some significant movement as we enter the final few months of the project. Again, the anticipated completion date is substantial completion is near the end of this year, first couple of weeks of January. The filter, the steel for the filter building is up, the roof
Okay.
is on. Clarifier number 1 is nearly done, so that's where they took the dome off, took all the guts out, had to redo the grout, everything in the bottom. The first one was a lot of figuring stuff out when they put that back together, and that's a go, and it's commissioned, then they'll do number 2. So, after they're done clarifier 2, every other piece of work is inside. So, if they can beat that weather deadline to get that cement and grout done,
There you
the
go.
bottom of clarifier 2, they're gonna be in pretty good shape.
Good.
As a reminder, we have scheduled a joint meeting that's gonna be held at the town select board, Swanton Town offices, 6 PM, October 21st, and the discussion will be the local option tax. Also, so you're aware, they talked about it openly at their meeting, their last select board meeting, and it's kind of exactly what we talked about. The thought is that nothing prevents the town from being the entity that ballots and bills. So it would go on town meeting day, for example, everybody would vote, they would manage it. State still takes 25%, not 33 anymore, but 25%. 75% of that annual revenue for all 1% of all business in the town and village would go to the town, and then we would get 23% of that. Same exact formula, seems fair, that we use for the fire department, 77-23. So that would, rough math on that is we would see between 80 and 100,000 a year as a village. That's not that big of a burden compared to other avenues for
Correct.
taxing. So it's, that's what the topic is gonna be on that date, just so you have that. And that's all I have, but again, as a reminder, we do need a very brief executive session. Oh, that's not true. Sorry. I do have an add to 18 that I don't wanna forget.
Okay. Water request.
So, yeah, so what this is this is something we were gonna do anyway, because we have no choice. So we're looking at doing the same thing we're doing for hydro for our entire water system. So we've done the very first grant at no cost to us a couple of years ago. Now we wanna take the next step above planning and start talking about how we prioritize all of the things and the repairs we need to do in our system. So that could be insertion valves, hydrants, lines. We keep talking about Dewey and Gallup, we know, I mean, those are must, right? We cannot,
We gotta get that
we're,
started.
we're literally putting Band-Aids on those things.
Yep.
Okay.
So this gives us a leg up. So we were gonna do it anyway, but there's an opportunity that came up. So The thought is this, looking for a motion to authorize the village manager to sign and apply only, don't know if we'll get it, to the state revolving loan program to conduct a study of our water system to better define improvements needed. The total anticipated cost is $17,500. This gives us a 25% loan forgiveness. So instead of just doing it out of our own pocket, we would get back or relief from $4,375. So now this total project assessment would be $13,125. Obviously out of water.
I make the motion that you be allowed to go to the revolving loan and apply.
Good. I typed it up for you, Diane. I have it for you.
Thank you.
And I'll second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve Bill to apply for a grant to help us with wastewater.
It's a loan, not a grant.
How great, well, for wastewater.
With water, not wastewater.
Water.
Water.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
And any other necessary business?
No.
Nothing.
I guess we should big shout out to the PC Construction for quick, easy.
Stand by, we
nice,
haven't got the
steady
bill yet.
Review extraction of the rubber dam. Looks like they had great weather.
Give them a shout out. No, they did a great job, but we seriously haven't received the invoice, and if they're watching this, the crane went home early. We're hoping the bill is a little bit of relief in that bill.
3 weeks, less than
Yes.
2 weeks, so that's good.
Yes.
Just amazed how quick it went. Number 19, executive session.
Move that we find that we enter into executive session for the trustees to receive confidential contract, legal, and personal information for which this is just legal, which the premature disclosure of the general public would clearly place the trustees and others at a substantial disadvantage.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second to approve the executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Executive session, away we go.